Okay. Okay, now close it.
I cannot do this.
Hey, this is Dave from houseparents.com, and with my brother Rich and my son Caleb, we renovate houses. Today we're going to show you how to replace a sliding glass door roller. The roller on these doors, one of them has just deteriorated to the point where it no longer functions, and we're going to show you how to put a brand new one in and get that door back to working just as it was from the factory. First things first, when you have a problem with the door not opening well, you can do one thing, and that is to check your track and to see if it's all gunked up, to see if you got any issues with the track coming apart. We already know that that's not the problem with this door. This door is about 20 years old, and over time those rollers just tend to give up. So what we're going to do is replace it. The first thing we have to do is get rid of that guard. That way the door can come out. But before we do, we have to first get that bumper off at the top and this bumper off at the bottom, and that will allow the door to slide past that guard so we can get to it. For this job today, these are the tools that we're going to use. We're going to need a brush to clean the track, a screwdriver, hammer, chisel possibly to clean things up a little bit, and most importantly is your impact drill. And then finally we'll use this golf wax, and we'll get to all that in just a bit. All right, these bumpers are held in with just 2 screws. And now we'll take care of this bottom bumper. Okay, now that we've taken those bumpers off, that'll allow the door to slide all the way over into the corner, and then we can access that guard. Right, to move this door all the way back, we had the lock was, you got to make sure that that lock is closed, and to do that you have to pop the lock mechanism up and then pull that down, and now we can get this all the way touching there. Now once it's slid all the way back, we can see the 2 holes for this guard, and actually this one doesn't even have a screw in it, but that one does. So we'll take that one off. Okay, now with the guard removed, all we got to do is lift the door up. There are wheels that rest on this track underneath the door here, and so what we're doing is basically lifting those wheels up, and so the door will swing out without that guard being there. Some of these doors can be pretty heavy, and if that's the case, you may want to get an extra hand to help you with this. So it's just as easy as lifting it up and then pulling the bottom out. You want to take extra care not to drop these doors. Because replacing them is very expensive. Alright, here's the underside of the door. Here's the edge of the door. And you can see there's our roller, and see how loose that is. That looks like the axle of that wheel is all gone, so it's no good. You adjust these by that screw right there, that hole, and that hole allows you to get a screwdriver in there and raise and lower that wheel, although that wheel's not good for much anymore. So we're going to take that out. To remove that, what we got to do is get a screwdriver in here and just pry it out. They're just in there like basically a friction fit. It's like a pocket in which the mechanism slides in, and there you go. That's what we want to replace. All right, so this is the mechanism we want to replace, and you can try your big box store, but probably they won't have it. This door that we're replacing is 20 years old, the mechanism, And so we went to Amazon and we found this one right here of the one we're gonna fit. That's a duplicate of the one that we're putting in. The only thing different than the one that we bought, the measurements are all correct. And that's one thing you have to do is pull this out of the door and measure this way, the width, and then also the diameter of your wheel. And when you get all those measurements, you can look it up on Amazon. We're Amazon affiliates, so if you're in need of a door roller replacement, you can go ahead and click on the link below. That helps us out as a channel. We really appreciate it when you do. And in a couple days, you'll have a new roller and you'll be ready to put it back in. And so there we have, there's the two right there. And this wheel goes up and down, controlled by that screw right there. So now we just got to slide this one in and we're good to go. Okay, installation of this is really as simple as putting it in the pocket from which the old one came out. And we've adjusted it so it's about the same as the other one. As a precaution, I put a piece of tape there just to hold it in case it wiggled loose. It's the last thing I want to do is have it pop out once we start lifting it. Right, the installation is just the reverse of how we took it out. We'll lift it up, slide it in the top rail first, and then slide the bottom in and rest it on its track. All right, now that you've gotten to see how the whole process works, if you needed to replace this or readjust it or do something with it, you can just as easily just put the door on a couple of boards like this to raise it up, and then you can put this, find its pocket, put it right in there, or pull it out. So makes it a lot easier if you know what you're doing from the get-go. Slide it back in there, pull the tape over it, make sure it doesn't fall out, and then go back to lifting it in. Once your door's in place, this is the final test. Remember how difficult it was before when we tried to open it. One more thing to do. Alright, so it's time to go ahead and install our guard that holds the door in place on the bottom. We got our bumpers in, bottom and top. We got our guard in, and now the door has a backstop. Last thing we do now is to take care of this track, and we want to make sure first that we get it all cleaned out. And we just got a wire brush here, a bristle brush, to take care of the buildup. You can see that kind of grayish brown color is just the remnants of the previous roller that just was crumbling. Once the track is all clean, we're going to hit it with some golf wax. And Pella, the manufacturer of the store, recommends golf wax. You can get it on Amazon. Use our link. Don't forget to use our link if you do that. Or I'm sure you can probably pick it up at your local grocery store. And so all you gotta do is just take this wax and rub it on that track. And the wax repels water, certainly gunk. Some people say use silicone, but the wax is much more durable than silicone. So you definitely do not want to use any kind of oil, because oil will just attract dirt and grime. So we do the front track, and then we come back here and do the same thing, rub it on there real good. This is just giving yourself extra protection for this track and hopefully prolong its usefulness. There you have it. This door opens like a dream now. One finger, no issues, just like it's supposed to. It's good as new. If the other roller were to go out, the job of replacing it is no problem at all. I hope this helps. If you have a sticky or a hard to open door, just go ahead and replace those rollers and you'll be back to good as new. If you got anything out of this video, give us a thumbs up. It helps our channel. We appreciate that. If you got any questions, go ahead and shoot us a line in the comment section below, and we'll gladly answer your questions as soon as we can. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. We've got lots more videos coming. Thanks a lot for viewing, and we'll see you next time.